From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's voice briefing. It's Thursday, May 4th, 2023.
I'm Susan Tompor, and I'm a columnist at the Detroit Free Press. The Fed's fight against high inflation has now led to the 10th interest rate hike in a bit more than a year. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve raised short-term interest rates by 0.25 percentage point. Consumers will be paying even more for their credit card rates, which now average 20.23%, and for their other loans. The Fed is walking a fine line, though, from here on out. While some experts say the Fed could raise rates again in June or July, others are hopeful that the Fed will sit tight and put more rate hikes on pause. The risk of a recession later this year or next goes up with each extra rate hike, according to many economists. Some industries, including tech and housing, are already seeing slowdowns, and experts such as Jonathan Smoke from Cox Automotive warn that deteriorating economic circumstances could actually prevent the Fed from raising rates in June or July. Auto loan rates are the highest in about 12 years. Consumers aren't likely to see much of a break on loan rates, even if the Fed stops raising rates going forward. The Fed isn't likely to begin cutting rates until sometime next year, or perhaps even in September, if the economy really slows down.
I'm Arpan Lobo. I cover state government and politics for the Detroit Free Press. Our Washington correspondent Todd Spangler was on scene in D.C. Wednesday, where Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced a Norwegian company would build a $400 million renewable hydrogen facility in Michigan. Nel Hydrogen is looking to build a plant somewhere in southeast Michigan, with an exact location still to be decided. The plant will be used to manufacture alkaline electrolyzer equipment, which is used to produce renewable hydrogen. Renewable hydrogen is key for producing energy without emitting greenhouse gases. According to the governor's office, it will be the first plant of its kind in the U.S. A Nel Hydrogen official said in addition to Michigan's strong research base and skilled workforce, state incentives were also a reason why the company chose to come to the Great Lakes state. Moving from the nation's capital to our state capital of Lansing, the Michigan Capitol Commission recently approved accepting requests for proposal for a new security system. Commission Chair Bill Candler said the plan is to install 5 walk-through security detectors at the Capitol building. When the detectors are functional, the commission will adopt new rules banning firearms for the Capitol, with exceptions for law enforcement. Current rules, adopted days after the January 6th riots at the U.S. Capitol in 2021, ban the open carrying of guns, but licensed concealed pistol holders can still carry in the building, just not openly. Candler said a timeline for the new security upgrades and policies will come after proposals can be vetted.
I'm Teresa Baldus with the Detroit Free Press. A medical professor is suing Wayne State University, claiming he was retaliated against for raising a serious issue, the treatment of Black patients in pain. Dr. Stanley Berry is concerned that residents may be mistreating Black patients, but without realizing it, by ignoring their pain due to unconscious bias. In other words, when Black patients report pain, they're either ignored or not believed, and therefore may not be getting proper treatment. Pregnant women in pain are of particular concern to Dr. Berry, as this is his specialty. But Dr. Berry says when he tried to raise the issue with the OBGYN department at Wayne State, he got backlash. Colleagues called him names, refused to work with him, he says. But worse than that, he was denied the top job in the university's OBGYN department. Despite that he was the interim chair with more than 3 decades of faculty experience at Wayne State, he says a less experienced man got the job. Dr. Berry believes it's because he vocalized his concern about Black patients, so he sued for alleged retaliation. Wayne State declined to comment on the lawsuit, but in a statement, it defended its commitment to Detroit, stating, quote, "No entity is more committed to the overall health and well-being of Detroit's diverse population than Wayne State University. We are proud of our commitment to diversity and inclusion. It is at the core of everything we do." End quote. For more on this story, please report to freep.com.
This is Brian McCullum, music writer with the Detroit Free Press. The Detroit R&B band, The Spinners, will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in November, part of a 2023 class of inductees announced Wednesday morning. The long-running group will become the 21st Detroit artist enshrined in the Rock Hall since its 1986 launch. Not making the Wednesday cut were rock duo The White Stripes, who were part of a 14-artist shortlist revealed in February. The Spinners are part of a 2023 list that includes Willie Nelson, George Michael, Missy Elliott, Sheryl Crow, Rage Against the Machine, and Kate Bush. They were selected by a body of 1,000 plus artists, historians, and other music professionals, combined with a public vote. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be held November 3rd at the Barclays Center in New York.
For more from the Detroit Free Press, visit freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening, and you'll hear more from us tomorrow.